Feeling like your life is boring and constantly being envious of another person's life can be one of the most lonely and alienating experiences a person can go through, and something that I have definitely experienced firsthand. Today, I wanted to discuss how this experience can affect people and how to deal with it. I want to start off by saying that you are not alone in feeling like this, and in fact, most people do. It's quite easy to fall into the mindset of feeling sorry for yourself or thinking that you've got it the worst or that no one else feels the way that you do, where in reality most people have grappled with these thoughts at some point in their life. And just because someone's life appears better than yours doesn't mean it actually is. This is quite a toxic and unhealthy mental pattern for a person to fall into, because in reality you have no idea what that person that you're envious of thinks and what they feel on a day-to-day basis. Yes, they may have more friends than you, or a nicer car, or they go on nicer holidays, or they might be more attractive than you, and you think that, if you had those things, and if you had those experiences, then your life would be better and you wouldn't be so lonely. And so therefore they have it better than you, when in reality they could be struggling with the same thing that you are. And this might sound crazy, but some people will be envious of things and personality traits that you possess. The main thing of what I'm trying to say is that focusing on other people and thinking how much better their life is than yours isn't going to improve your own life and will only make you feel worse. However, this is something that we're all guilty of, and especially in the age of social media, it's even hard to escape this mindset, as everyone posts their life through rose-tinted glasses and makes it look amazing and look like it's perfect, which is a really difficult thing to see past when you feel like you don't fit in, or you feel like your life is boring. One thing that I think you have to remember is that this is not a true depiction of this person's life. No one's life is perfect. No one's life is easy. No one's life is carefree. And a lot of the time, the more that they post is the more that they're trying to show off, the more that they're trying to compensate for things that might be missing in their life, feelings of insecurity. Because if someone is truly confident and someone is truly a believer that their life is good and they are content with themselves, they won't feel the need to post it online to get validation. Around this time last year, I was going through a pretty tough time, and I started posting a lot on social media to try and make myself feel better by receiving, positive attention, likes. People like your posts, that makes you feel good, especially it's from your friends, that you want them to like you want them to validate you. But, in reality, I was insecure that my life was boring, and so I tried my very hardest to make my posts look like I was having the time of my life, when in reality I wasn't. You shouldn't fall into that you shouldn't fall into those traps, trying to match other people's posts and feel like it's a social media. I feel like it's almost like a competition to, who has the better life, who can show off more, which I think is such an unhealthy environment, especially if it's for someone. If you're looking at it from an objective point of view and you're confident in yourself, then these things won't affect you. But if you're feeling insecure, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling sad, then these things are going to really affect you, and they're not only going to bring you down, they're not going to make you feel better, and things like that just bring you down are never useful in any situation. I think the first step into feeling better about your current situation is by recognizing that you are not the only person to feel like your life isn't as good as someone else's. And in fact, we all feel like this sometimes. Another thing that I think is important is focusing on what you've got rather than focusing on what other people have. A lot of people are always constantly, wanting and wishing that they had more to improve their life, and when they forgot that they already have good things in their life. Everyone has something in their life, whether that be a friend, a hobby, a personality trait, or just something in your day-to-day life. So I would try and focus on one thing in your life that is good, that makes you happy, and hone in on it, because this is your base layer, this is your groundworks. The first step to improving your life is to, one, recognize that wallowing on, in self-pity and thinking, oh, they've got it better than I do, is not going to help you if you really want to improve. And two, focus on the things that you have. Focus on the things that make you happy. Because curating this positive mindset, although it is not easy to do, can go such a long way on the road to feeling content and at one with yourself. And when you get this like self-assuredness, self-confidence, it's such an attractive thing. All of a sudden you will start attracting people in your life. If you live a life of feeling jealousy and envy and contempt for other people because they have it better than you do, or just like loneliness and sadness, nothing is going to improve. But if you create a more positive mindset and you focus on the things that you currently have, you recognize that someone else's life is not better than yours, because no life is better than another's life. Once you curate that positive mindset, all of a sudden things will start improving. You will start attracting people. You'll start, if you want a girlfriend, if you want a boyfriend, you'll start attracting people that you want to date. You start attracting more friends. You just start attracting more positive things in your life. And the final thing I want to say is, don't be unrealistic. Your life is not going to change like that overnight. This is a long process. It's something that took me years to, and I'm still not even there myself, to try and stop thinking so negatively all the time. Because being hard on yourself that you've not made progress or that things haven't improved yet is not going to do you any good either. And it's really hard to have the mental strength to keep going even when things are tough. So you've just got to look after yourself, be kind to yourself, because another thing is, okay, someone else might have things that you want that are better, but why would you focus on someone else's life? Because that's not your life. This is your life. So why would you not want to focus on that? Why would you not want to be happy about yours? So at the end of the day, the final message is just be kind to yourself. Having a negative inner monologue is something that I think a lot of us struggle with, but it never helps anyone. It never helps us. Thank you all for tuning in to my first video. I hope this helps. I'm still, getting to grips with this whole thing, but I really feel like this is a thing that a lot of people struggle with, and something that I think a lot of people need help with, and I hope at least some of you took something from this video, and if you didn't, then that's fine. Thank you.